Tonight at 11, reversing the death penalty. Former judges and top legal officials calling on the Florida Supreme Court to impose life sentences now on nearly 400 people who are awaiting execution on death row. All of this coming after the U.S. Supreme Court declared that Florida's death penalty sentencing law was unconstitutional. Good to have Whitney Boan, our attorney, to talk about this. You and I have been talking about this death penalty change for quite a while. This latest challenge, this isn't going to mean that all the people that are on death row right now, which is close to 400, are going to have to go back and get retried. Should they uphold this challenge, right?
No. Not. What's at issue here is whether or not, under the finding from the Hurst decision from the U.S. Supreme Court, the current structure and then retroactively people previously sentenced under the death penalty structure that was found to be unconstitutional have to be given life sentences as a function of the Florida statute that already says that that's what's supposed to happen should the Florida death penalty structure be found unconstitutional, as it has been in the Hurst case from the U.S. Supreme Court. That's what this is about. Is
it because rather than a 7-5 jury ruling that the guy should go to death penalty, it's not that it was only 7 rather than 10 out of 12, right? It's more because the judge had all the power?
Correct.
Okay.
The finding in the Hurst decision from the U.S. Supreme Court was that the Sixth Amendment was violated because the ultimate aggravating factor that was deciding whether or not a defendant got the death penalty was being decided by a judge as opposed to by a jury. That was a violation of the Sixth Amendment.
Okay.
So what's happened now, there's a bill, it's been passed, Rick Scott has signed off on it saying in Florida, you know, we're going to have 10 out of 12 have to be the amount of jurors that reach a decision that someone's going to get the death penalty before they do.
Still not unanimous.
Still not unanimous,
right.
Which we're still in the minority as far as states go in terms of doing that, because any states that do still have the death penalty structure, for the most part, with limited exception, are requiring a unanimous decision. So I think Rick Scott and, you know, whatever, they've made kind of a compromise in terms of, in their minds, of we're moving in a different direction, we're moving that way, but that was not the ultimate issue in the Hurst case anyways.
Okay.
So what's at issue now is whether or not, as a function of the Florida statute 775.082, these individuals on death row have to be given a life sentence now. So it's not that everyone's going to get a free-for-all and everyone's getting new trials and, you know, and the whole kit and caboodle. It's simply because have this statute written, which has been in place for a long time now, that says if the death penalty structure is found unconstitutional, defendants get life sentences. Is that going to happen now?
Whitney, always good to talk to you. Thanks.
Good to talk to you.